Drain the swamp, Puerto Rico. A Harvard-educated Puerto Rico-based CEO is now fearing for his safety, receiving multiple threats for exposing the incompetence and the corruption of the Puerto Rican government in its response to Hurricane Maria. Jorge Rodriguez is the CEO of an international engineering firm. It works with medical and pharmaceutical companies. He published an opinion piece in the New York Post entitled "Inept Puerto Rican Government Riddled with Corruption." He says, quote, "For the last 30 years, the Puerto Rican government has been completely inept at handling regular societal needs. So I just don't see it functioning in a crisis like this one. Even before the hurricane hit, water and power systems were already broken. And our $118 billion debt crisis, it's a result of government corruption and mismanagement." Let's bring in that San Juan-based CEO who wrote that op-ed. He's Jorge Rodriguez. Good to see you, Jorge.
How are you?
What kind of threats have you received?
Well, it's been a lot of hate mail and threats. They're going to kick me out of the country, that I don't belong here, that I'm not a Puerto Rican, that I'm, throwing them under the bus, that I'm selling them. Shame on me. Very obviously, in very tough terms, I cannot say in terms of publicly, but enough for me to get an armed guard. Obviously, I'm an engineer. I just run a business. Never done anything with government, so I got extremely scared. And then for my safety, I had to get some 24/7 armed guard.
Well, this sounds awful. Jorge,
Yes.
Can you tell us what corruption and what is the incompetence that you see in the Puerto Rican government?
Well, it's probably 40 years. So remember, we're not in debt because we didn't get enough money for very real uses that we had, right? So we're 3.7 million people. Over 40 years, we've used, if you take the service charge of raising the bonds money, it's probably it comes out to be probably not, it's 118, so it comes out to be about 82 billion, 85 billion in 35 years. We don't have anything to claim for in terms of assets. We have like a coliseum, basketball coliseum, concert venue, we have a convention center, nothing else. We don't have schools, we don't have bridges, we don't have roads, we don't have an airport. So obviously, it's just obvious. I'm not saying anything that is new. It's been totally mishandled, misappropriated, and just the corruption of 40 years that has, just eroded all our structures, our systems, and our processes in terms of government providing the societal needs of its community.
Jorge, where did the money go?
I think it went to the pockets of politicians and their contractors that are, playing, how you say it, I don't know how you may say it in English, a good word, but, it's we call it pick a span. It's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine, and they just between them. It's very simple. That's why we have three, between poor people, mid-class people, and rich people. You have a very small percentage, 2 or 3 that are rich, then our middle class, which is just living, and then the poor. So our income per capita for the last 40 years has been 18,000. It went from 16,000 up to 18,000. Mississippi 30 years ago was almost the same as ours. In those 30 years, Mississippi almost 2.5 times higher, and we just stay the same.
Wow, that's interesting. Jorge, thank you. That's really interesting analysis there. Jorge, we'd love to have you back, and please stay safe. Okay, stay safe.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So sorry about those threats you're getting. Thank you, Jorge.